2018 Mazda 3 review. The Mazda 3 is usually a prime instance of how a car could be greater than the sum of its parts. The 2018 Mazda 3 is not the quickest car rolling around in its class, however it is the best to operate a vehicle. The Mazda 3 has the biggest cargo capacity in their class either, nevertheless it will certainly hold a whole lot of stuff. This is usually a clear case with the raw numbers not telling the whole story. Inside and out, the Mazda 3 will attract, and several elements provide a more upmarket appeal. On the street, the goal wasn't competent, is in reality entertaining and sporty to operate a vehicle. Even if you are not into performance, this means a feeling that this car will answer emergency maneuvers with full confidence and ease. In the competitive budget-conscious compact sedan and hatchback class, the 2018 Mazda 3 can be a rarity for exceeding expectations and delivering much more than your money would suggest. We bore this outside in a year-long test with this car's current generation and also subsequent evaluation of newer variants. You would be remiss not have it on your own short list. What's new? For 2018, the Mazda 3 remains mostly precisely the same, with merely a shuffling of features and option packages. The Touring 2.5 trim continues to be discontinued because the 2.5-litre engine is currently standard using the Touring trim, as well as a rear spoiler and overhead console. The Sport trim now has a forward collision warning and mitigation system, as well as the Grand Touring gets LED headlights as standard. Elsewhere, some option packages are actually renamed, combined or dropped. We're partial to the hatchback for the cargo carrying flexibility together with its aesthetic appeal. Among the different trim level choices, the Touring trim presents an excellent balance of features for that price, and it also gets the better engine. If your budget can stretch, the Grand Touring is really a great pick that's eligible for many advanced safety measures. Trim levels and features. The 5-passenger 2018 Mazda 3 can be obtained as sometimes a sedan or forward or hatchback. Both body styles can be found in either Sport, Touring or Grand Touring trims. The Sport trim is powered by way of a 2.0-litre 4-cylinder engine, 155 horsepower, 150 pound-feet of torque. The Touring and Grand Touring models get yourself a 2.5-litre engine, 184 horsepower, 185 lb-ft. A 6-speed manual transmission is standard for many Mazda 3s, using a 6-speed automatic available being an option. Standard Sport trim features with the sedan include 16-inch steel wheels, remote keyless entry, keyless ignition, a 6040 split folding rear seat, Bluetooth, the Mazda Connect infotainment system that has a 7-inch touchscreen, a rear-view camera, low-speed forward collision warning and automatic emergency braking, emergency telematics, and also a 6-speaker stereo with 2 USB ports. The hatchback adds the upgrades of alloy wheels as well as a rear spoiler. The sedan is eligible to the optional preferred equipment package that includes alloy wheels, automatic headlights, automatic wipers, heated mirrors, blind spot monitoring with rear cross-traffic alert, upgraded upholstery along with a rear seat armrest with cup holders. The Touring trim includes all with the above, as well as 18-inch alloy wheels, keyless entry, dual-zone automatic climate control, simulated leather upholstery, a 6-way power driver seat and heated front seats. At the top from the range, the Grand Touring model gains LED exterior lights, headlights, fog lights and taillights, a sunroof, be sure you speedometer, a substitute display from the instrument panel, leather upholstery, a 9-speaker Bose surround sound system, and satellite radio. To this, the premium equipment package adds adaptive headlights, automatic high beams, a heated tire, paddle shifters to the automatic transmission, an auto-dimming rear view mirror, a navigation system, lane departure warning and intervention, adaptive cruise control, forward collision warning and braking for higher speeds, plus a traffic sign watcher. Trim tested. Each vehicle typically is available in multiple versions that happen to be fundamentally similar. The S with this review derived from our full test from the 2017 Mazda 3 hatchback Grand Touring 2.4 litres inline-4, 6-speed manual, FWD. Driving. The Mazda 3 isn't quickest car rolling around in its class. Nevertheless, it does deliver a bright and engaging experience which is to be appreciated by drivers who enjoy cars after dark transportation aspect. Acceleration. The 3's 2.5 litre is one with a nicer small displacement inline fizz that's not turbocharged. It's not a high-revving engine but creates a decent volume of power and torque coming from a relatively low RPM, all of which will get someone to 60 miles per hour in 8.1 seconds. There isn't much oral character, nonetheless it isn't unpleasant. Braking. This Mazda has smooth brake feel during casual driving. The effort is light, the brakes aren't grabby, plus there is no unnecessary play inside the pedal. They work the way in which you'd expect. Our tester needed 122 feet to quit from 60 miles per hour, which is really a bit more than average with the class. Steering. The steering delivers excellent tones to feel at highway speed, and also your inputs feel direct and precise. Road feedback isn't exceptional the slightest bit, however, you still have some feeling of how well your front tires are gripping the street surface. Handling. The Mazda 3 is playful regardless of whether it isn't everything that quick. The front tires will squeal around turns without much effort. Overall grip is modest, but the suspension does a pleasant job of keeping the entire body in control. The 3 maintains composure and provides the driver confidence. Drivability. The clutch pedal is light as well as simple to push in, however its engagement could be a little tricky to predict. Thankfully, the engine's power delivery is linear and smooth. The gearbox includes a light and relatively precise throw, but it really's not nearly quite as nice since the Mazda Miata's direction shift gearbox. Comfort. The Mazda 3 is appealingly comfortable, looking at the surprisingly smooth ride quality to its climate control it can offer plenty of cooling capacity. However, the cabin does let in additional noise than other cabins inside class. The seats are decently supportive although not perfect. Seat comfort. There's good lateral support from your front sports seats, but we could have used somewhat more front tilt adjustment. More breathable leather upholstery can be appreciated, too. You may feel a tad swampy after having a long drive. The armrest padding is very useful. Ride comfort. For a concise hatchback, the Mazda 3 achieves a great balance between ride comfort and composure. The ride isn't floaty. The 3 handles bumps and undulations without issue. This is usually a compact car you will not mind driving long distances. Noise and vibration. Over plenty of road surfaces, and never necessarily rough surfaces, there can be a moderate volume of road noise that comes throughout the cabin. A little wind noise is usually ever present but is less intrusive. The level of noise isn't unpleasant, but you will find quieter compact options. Climate control. We found the controls accessible and clearly labeled. On the auto setting, the machine does a great job of looking after your desired cabin temperature. The seat heaters have a few extra moments to warm up but are fairly toasty once nearly temp. Interior. The best part in the Mazda 3 often is its interior. Controls are simple to use and enable you to concentrate on driving, and there is ample room in the beginning for people of all sizes. rear passenger space isn't an excellent option for taller passengers, but overall this cabin has become well designed. Ease people. We found nothing inside the cabin hard to use or determine thanks to nice redundancy of controls and clear and labeling. The infotainment interface comes with an efficient menu structure. This is easy enough to find out on the fly. And it gets a touch screen if you had to stop. Getting in, jetting out. Front entry is often a cinch, with wide door openings that offer an abundance of clearance with the head and knees. The 3's roofline also doesn't drop down right on the rear doors, that helps preserve head clearance for rear passengers. Rear leg clearance is roughly on par with other compacts. Driving position. The steering column carries a fairly wide adjustment range for many drivers for getting comfortable while using pedals and situate the leader where they desire it. There's enough spacing involving the brake and throttle pedals for straightforward toe-down shifting if you were into that sort of thing. Roominess. There's ample room in advance, with leg, headroom and shoulder room to spare. Rear headroom just isn't as generous and will be insufficient for taller passengers. A good quantity of foot space beneath the front seats helps maximize available legroom with the spine. Visibility. You experience an expansive view out your front, also to the sides inside 3. However, the sloping rear hatch window is often a little short and decreases your view out of the back. Chunky rear roof pillars build a small blind spot when in reverse, but this really is addressed from the rear view camera. Quality. Mazda has changed over its game and intensely pays attention to the appearance and feel of materials. The construction at this price level is strong and is usually a cut above almost all of its competition. The only thing seems kind of chintzy will be the flip-up head-up display, though functionally it's brilliant. Utility. It's not easy to fault a hatchback for utility, but as compared to other hatchbacks in the class, the Mazda 3 offers slightly less cargo room and is not as clever with regards to maximizing small item storage within the cabin. Latch anchors are easily accessible despite being tucked away between your cushions. Small item storage. There's a decent-sized door pocket which will fit a rather oversized water bottle as well as a few other things, a front tray for one's smartphone or wallet, 2 front anti-tip cup holders, along with a small armrest bin having a 12-volt outlet. The rear door pockets will fit a typical bottle each. Cargo space. The 3's 20.2 cubic feet of luggage room is small for that class, even though it looks pretty spacious at the spine. There's no additional underfloor storage for the reason that spare perhaps there is. Even so, the rear seats are split 6,040 and essentially fold flat. Maximum cargo space inside the hatchback is 47.1 cubic feet. Child safety seat accommodation. Latch anchors are hidden in relating to the cushions, nevertheless the cushions are soft enough to discourage for access. There are 2 groups of anchors for the outboard seats and 3 overhead tethers. Unfortunately, larger rear-facing baby car seats will impose on front passenger space. Technology. Mazda's got one of the very best infotainment setups out at the moment, and also the optional Bose head unit produces some fantastic sound to get a car on this size and class. We applaud Mazda for offering a very comprehensive listing of driver's aids, but you are unimpressed by how nearly all of them function. Audio and navigation. The navigation doesn't always have fancy graphics but is simple to operate promptly, and becomes understanding of touch in a stop for simple map panning with your fingers. The GT trim Bose head unit sounds great, the bass hits strong, along with the audio stays clean, it doesn't matter how high you crank it. Smartphone integration. Mazda's device integration is pretty good regardless of the lack of Apple CarPlay Android Auto. When linked to the USB you can get all media, including podcasts, and you will find even controls to fast forward, stop and rewind. You can also stream music through Pandora, Aha and Stitcher throughout the system at the same time. Driver aids. Mazda's active driving aids aren't all of that great. The lane departure warning and keeping system isn't effective. Along with the adaptive cruise control quits below 15 miles per hour, the blind spot monitoring system is afflicted with mild paranoia. Voice control. Voice controls work effectively and provide guidance for available commands. We were competent to navigate to office, an option to the nearest gas station about the first try. Nothing exceptional, nonetheless it works well with all the functions which it does have, which doesn't include voice use of Siri or Google.